Will the Bengals take down the Jaguars, improve to 2-0 for the first time in the Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow era? It's time to get to what to watch for and my official prediction for Sunday's game right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. Happy Friday. The Bengals home opener is almost here, and I'm outside of Paycor Stadium where we are just 48 hours, maybe less, depending on when you're watching or listening to this, away from Bengals Jaguars, the 2025 home opener. And the Bengals, like I said, trying to do something that they've never done in the Zach Taylor or Joe Burrow era, trying to get to 2-0 for the first time since 2018. Today's video is brought to you by Rivertown Inquiry. Check them out, rivertowninquiry.com, for the best tees, the best apparel that you can get in Cincinnati. And let's dive into it's a huge matchup. I'm really excited for this game, and the first thing to watch for, will Joe Burrow in this Bengals offense bounce back? Burrow bouncing back is an easy prediction. I certainly expect it, but he said it this week. They got to go out and do it. They got to go out there and show who they are. We've seen Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins, their backs against the wall, and bounce back in big ways. Last year, same thing. They scored 10 points against a bad New England team. They go on the road to Kansas City. Shoulda, woulda, coulda won that game. They need to bounce back in a big way if they're going to win. 17 points is not going to get it done. Even if the defense plays well, that is not going to get it done on Sunday against the Jaguars. So what needs to happen on offense? What do I want to see? Well, I want to see some big plays. I want to see Joe Burrow finding Jamar Chase deep downfield. Jamar Chase creating. He had 2 for 26. That's not enough. He needs 2 for 26 on the first drive. This Bengals offense got off to a good start last week, so it doesn't really matter how, but I think the how is going to look a lot like we're used to. Last week it was Noah Fant and it was run game, and not that the run game won't come up. That might come up, teaser, in a little bit, but I do think that this passing attack, it's going to have to get more vertical. We're going to see some shot plays. We're going to see some downfield plays. And part of that is going to be blocking Josh Hines-Allen, one of the best pass rushers in the game. That Jags defensive front is a bit disruptive. All right, we'll keep Joe Burrow upright. Big test for this Bengals offensive front. But I do expect Burrow to bounce back, and that's one thing I'm watching for. And the number one thing I'm watching for. Number two, what's Travis Hunter? How is number 12 used? The Jaguars have talked all offseason about how generational he is, how unique he is, how much of a playmaker he is. Last week, 6 catches, 36 yards. Okay, so do they give him more opportunities on offense? On defense, he only played 6 snaps. It sounds like he's going to play more. How is he used? I'm so intrigued by it because I think, and this is my opinion, but if he's one-on-one with Tee Higgins or one-on-one with Jamar Chase, well, that's not the situation you want him in. Now, if he's in zone coverage and can read and react and use his ball skills, feels a bit different. Maybe they use him in man, maybe they don't. How do they use him on defense? How do they use him on offense? Obviously, the Bengals are going to have to wrap up, tackle him. He's shifty. He's a playmaker with the ball in his hands. He's got great ball skills. So I'm really intrigued by that as well. But there's plenty of other topics and plenty of other things I want to get to that I'm excited to see, plus my official prediction coming your way, coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by Win Athletics. I talk about them all the time. They have the best flag football gear on the planet, and Jeff Baldwin, huge Bengals fan. That's why I love our local sponsors. They are huge Bengals fans, and Jeff and his team at Win Athletics is no different. The Win flag kit is awesome. It's a football field you can carry. The Win flag kit, just so you know, is perfect for anyone that on the drop of a dime just wants to play 5-on-5 flag football. 5-on-5 flag football, easier for me to say, is, well, it's a lot of fun, and it's something that you could check out right now at winwinathletics.com. This video is also brought to you by Christian Husky of Sipsey Klein Realtors. Christian is a big Bengals fan, much like Jeff Baldwin, and he knows Cincinnati. He knows the ins and outs of Cincinnati. So whether you're buying or selling a home, whether you're looking to downsize, you're upgrading, you're relocating, you're just starting your search, maybe you just need some real estate advice, Christian Husky is who you should reach out to at christian.husky or visit sipseyklein.com/chusky. Really appreciate our local sponsors, winwinathletics.com, also Christian Husky of Sipsey Klein Realtors. Let's dive into, and both big Bengals fans, by the way, like everybody watching, they're huge Bengals fans. Let's get into number 3. And number 3, Well, I mentioned the run game. And while I want to talk about Chase Brown, we got to talk about Travis Etienne. And we got to talk about this Jaguars run game. Because whether it's Bashal Tutin, whether it's Travis Etienne, I think that this Jags run game, they want to be explosive on the ground. They were last week against the Panthers. It took pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. It took pressure off the passing game that the Jags have. And if they can run the ball on Sunday, what's going to be painful? The Bengals did a really good job of slowing down that Browns rushing attack, held them to 2 yards a carry. The Jaguars have more talent in their backfield. They have more explosive players in their backfield. And so, can this Bengals run defense step up to the plate again for a second straight week? If so, they're going to be in position to create some havoc, going to be in position to grab a couple of turnovers like they did in the second half when Joe Flacco was forced to throw the ball more last week. They need to make Trevor Lawrence do that again this week. Of course, that is not going to be as easy. And that's why number 4 for me, the thing I'm watching for, is the secondary. I want to see how Cam Taylor-Britt responds. We know what he said this week. And Zach Taylor responded with, "I see better than I hear." All right. So how does that play out? What goes on the field now that Cam knows he needs to be better? And honestly, how does Jordan Battle respond? How does DJ Turner respond? How does Dax Hill play this week? I'm looking at this secondary as a whole, Geno Stone as well. Can they, against a higher level of competition, a better quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, definitely a better wide receiver 1 in Brian Thomas Jr., a guy in Travis Hunter is an ultimate wild card, another guy who's a really good deep threat in Diami Brown, and yeah, they got to tackle and take away the run, but how do they cover? Huge game for these guys and how they cover. All eyes on this Bengals secondary. And then number 5, and I think it was an underrated storyline last week, Chase Brown got going early against Cleveland, but the Bengals were close to having some really explosive runs, and it didn't work, and the run blocking wasn't up to par. And so can they get that run game going? Can Chase Brown pop off? Will this be the Brown breakout? Much like I said about Trevor Lawrence, if you're Joe Burrow and you have Chase Brown running for 5 yards a clip with a couple explosive runs, that's going to make life so much easier for you and open things up offensively. And so, yeah, I think Chase Brown, the Bengals feed Chase Brown. They do. And he's going to get a bunch of touches again this week. Can he be more explosive? And I thought he was good last week, really good. Can they give him more opportunities, more holes, more room to be at his best and maximize his production? Those are the 5. Those are the 5 things I'm looking forward to, that I'm watching for, that I will be eyeing Sunday. And now it's officially prediction time, brought to you by RivertownInquiry.com. Like I said, the best apparel in the Queen City at RivertownInquiry.com. Let's get to it. I think the Bengals win this game. It's going to be really close, but Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins, Chase Brown, this offense is going to play much, much better, and it's going to go down to the wire. And a name to watch, Jaguars kicker Cam Little, one of the best kickers in the game, very underrated. Huge leg, had a 70-yarder in the preseason, was really good last week. He's a weapon. And who else is a weapon? Evan McPherson. I think it comes down to the kickers. Bengals find a way to get it done 30-27. They get it done, get to 2-0 for the first time in the Joe Burrow era, first time since 2018. We'll see if they get it done. We're obviously going to have you covered. Whether you're a subscriber, which you should join the movement if you haven't yet. We're almost at 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. Make sure you follow on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on the iHeartRadio app, or obviously Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, we'll talk to you on game day. Can't wait for game day. Appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Cincinnati Bengals Talk.